come to Botswana and explore the beauty of our country. When the dust settles, we will be waiting to receive you. Come explore, experience, and enjoy. Botswana, our pride, your destination.
Live from the nation's capital, Gaborone, this is BTV News at 3. I'm Udi Samoka. Let's take a look at stories making headlines. Ongoing non-aligned movement summit in Kampala discussing current global challenges. Ugandan delegation in Botswana to benchmark on land management policies. And in sport, Ross Branch made it to the podium finish at the Dakar Rally. Interpreting in sign language. Thank you for joining us. Now in our first story, President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi is in Kampala for the 19th Non-Aligned Movement Summit, which started this morning. He joins over 50 heads of state from 120 members of this movement to discuss the current global challenges that include defense, peace, security, climate change, and development. The Israel-Palestine war is expected to once again dominate the agenda of the heads of state, as it has taken center stage of senior officers and ministerial meeting discussions. Moving on, the First Lady of the Republic of Mozambique, Dr. Isaura Ferrao Nyusi, has this morning launched the We Are Equal campaign in Maputo, Mozambique. The campaign aims at eliminating the gender gap in Africa. The event also caters for the signing of commitment of zero waste movement by spouses of provincial secretaries of state and governors. The event has attracted not only President of Mozambique, but also First Ladies from Botswana, Kenya, Malawi, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, and Rwanda.
Go setse go buile jalo ka lone la neo la We Are Equal le le gore ke la ba humagadi ba botautona o ta gakolegela gore bohumagadi wa ga tautona wa rona mme Neo Masisi o rutsa jalo le la neo la gagwe ngwagone re wela o no wela wa 2023 ele la neo le le rodwang ke bohumagadi mo le mo ga tautona yo le leloko la Oflad ele mokgato wa ba humagadi ba botautona ba Afrika tota mme motsatsi la gompieno ga go rolwa gape maitamo a zero waste management ele nano la jalo le rotsweng ke le khota la ditšhaba WHO le le rotetsang jalo mahatshe go tsa ka twagalo tlhokomelo jalo ya solid waste mme mohumagadi wa tautona wa Mozambique a tsa marapo a go iphesa tota gore o taetella pelo laneo leo la zero waste management ga go diwa ga go tabo gore jalo botona kgolo ba mahatsasele jalo le ba eteledipele ba dikgaolo gone ba mo lehatsheng le la Mozambique ba tla ba saenela tumelano go nna jalo gore go dikgaolong tsa bone tota le bone ba bona gore ba tsa bo eteledipele jwa go bona gore go tlhokomela jang matakala a recycle ka tsela e ntseng jang a ile gore go ka itshetswa ka one go itshetswa ka one jang ka tsela e ntseng jalo.
The acting President, Mr. Slamba Tsogwane, who is also the Member of Parliament for Boteti West, has implored residents of Mopipi and Mokobokani to utilize the newly introduced Temolotlotlo program to produce sufficient food. Mr. Tsogwane said this when addressing Khotla meetings at Mopipi and Mokobokani villages. Sebastian Tebogo with more.
One of the aims of the Temolotlotlo initiative is to help this country attain food security at both household and national level. As such, Botswana are encouraged to access the program in order to reduce dependency on imported food commodities.
Tedi le kanyo go re itshetse re re ipele ya no timoltoto e batla go re eme ka dinao ora ile gore ke ngwaga o mona magadi a le gore no ntse o lema bo 2 hectares kana bo 5 hectares ka ngwaga o mo na magadi a le gore 5 hectares yo na kgona go tsetsa mo ngwageng jaanong o tshwanetse gore yaanong o leme 10 hectares
maruri mo temong kgwetlho e tona ke tsone dipalamo le balemisi anong e ne a re tlhaelo yo re bona gore ke yone ye itsang gore bodiredi bja rona bo tshware tiro ka bonokopila ra kopa gore ba re thuse mme e ne a re ka kgwedi ya December ba re solohetsa dikoloi di le 123 tse ba tla di anamisang le lehatshe lotlhe ka kwa gona le dikgwetlo.
The village leadership appreciated the Temo le Tlotlo program.
Le lenaneo le le tsile la Temo le Tlotlo le ha selo se le sešwa sta simula se le tsubuta se le isa kwa le kwa mme le gorogile re lebegetswe ha le re tsa gore ke lone botshelo
thulaganyo ya Temo le Tlotlo ka gore le yone e tsweletsela sentle ba dipeo ba setse ba simolotse go di tsaya ke re seo re sa amogelela thata mo motswa mo go ekana.
Residents also shared their issues with their member of parliament.
Ke tla rena totelo ni a bona le tota gore e tshwaetse kana go bona go tola diphapi di tsengwa bona gore nyame ha sengwenyana shiapo di tsamela teng metsi a ema la dikgoro tsa sekolo ha le gore ga gona go tsenwa teng go sentse re go ba ka nngwe go tlo di trench tse di tatamisa metsi gore metsi a se ka ema go gongwe he
wa ha sekolo ha le wa le buisiwa gore go ga nna sente la bala tsamala bona ka go seileng ka teng mme go nna le solohetso ya gore paakanyo e ta nna teng mme le bojano jana ga se go nne le sepela se se diragetseng lo ne fence tota ga ya nna sente
re itse ka seemo sa metsi a emang mo motseng le mo dikolong ke ka jana go na le tiro ya CCP e tata mono e tswang ha posong ya go ema go ithala ka go bo Manthabakwe tsa maintenance re na le thulaganyo ya gore tse dingwe tse dinyenyane tse e leng di-minor maintenance tsone re tsweletse re ntse ra di dira sekwele sa go hirelwa motho yo ka dirang ditiro tse sekwele sengwe le sengwe.
Residents appealed to the National Development Bank to make efforts to reach out to the farmers across the country, since they are responsible for processing of applications and financing to purchase farming implements in order to ensure maximum uptake of the program. Svaitsen Tebogo, BTV News.
The Director of the Department of Town and Country Planning, Mr. Kibonyimudisa Oke, says Botswana's land management policies have drawn the attention of other countries to come and benchmark. He shared that learning from these policies and other urban development strategies being implemented by his department and town councils is the motivation behind the current visit by the Ugandan delegation. Solofelo Tombale and Tumisa Vinte.
Officials from the Ugandan Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development are in Botswana for a knowledge and skills exchange with various government entities, in particular the Department of Town and Country Planning. The focus of this exchange is this country's good land management policies.
You'll realize that Botswana has caught a lot of attention, especially in terms of land management and spatial planning, through the implementation of the National Spatial Plan. The National Spatial Plan, and through integration with the Transitional National Development Plan, and we're also working on NDP 12. So this national planning initiatives or strategies have caught attention in various countries, and they really want to learn on that.
Particularly, we're interested in physical planning and spatial planning, land management and solid waste management. We want to pick some good lessons from here so that when we go back home, we are able to implement some of those good lessons and plans, especially given the fact that in Uganda we declared 15 cities and we have made 10 operational. These are regional cities. They are smaller and more or less the size of Gaborone, and we would like to pick some of these good plans.
Mr. Oke shared what Botswana could benefit from Uganda's knowledge to further advance land management here.
You will realize that our cities really need funding self-funding. So this is also one area that they are doing well on. So city funding is key for the city for sustainability. So financial sustainability for our cities is also a very, very good area of interest in terms of knowledge exchange.
He also described the excursions they had planned for the delegation to show Botswana's policies in action.
So today being Thursday, we have done a lot of excursions and meetings. We started by paying courtesy to His Worship, the Mayor. On Monday morning, we met the PS, Minister of Lands and Water Affairs, and then went on the technical excursions.
The Department of Town and Country Planning has revealed that the Ugandan government has invited them to return the visit soon. Solofelo Tombale, BTV News, Gaborone.
The Member of Parliament for Nkange constituency, Dr. Neva Tabang, says Tutume District Council still runs its operations using the sub-district budget despite it having been upgraded. Addressing a Khotla meeting in Senete Village, Dr. Tabang says operating with such budget has affected many developmental projects geared to help villages. He further advised the residents to take advantage of government initiatives such as the Temolotlotlo and Ipelagim program as they are meant to improve their livelihoods. Abigail Madurobo with more.
Dr. Taba noted that although the decision to upgrade sub-district had meant to bring services closer to the communities and reduce time taken to make and implement decisions, Tutume district still has budget constraints. Meanwhile, he urged Senete village residents to build houses and rent them out to the government as a way of making a living.
District Council ngono maswavia yapo kuti tichaoperate ne budget e sub district aso papizika ndipo pana matata manjinji papo panoti manikanya nekuti mara takapiwa nde sub district ya Ntolo koro tafana kuti tigwilla ku parliament eno no palaza mari tishake mari e full district ndotola kuti pandiko kungati thusa because ticha drillila kugwadza titsitsiwa kunyatolani gogo kutukununu ndipo pa na uthatha ipapa. I think kwafana kuti kuchi separate kuti ti district pangapiwa chavo sabano havakabata beko ti golele to lahila kumaitenga golele to lashila ka Senete. After 5 years tingabona kuna change.
Residents appreciated the developments taking place in their village but said there is still shortage of classrooms at Senete Primary School and wild animals roaming the streets, among others.
Recupa additional classes go Senete Primary School. Bana khoshota di klasi na kongwe ke le wana wa ke bone bana ba rutola ka sa gastari ba bangwe ba tsentse mo store room se ka bo se tsentse di tools mo go supanto ta gore nya thaelo ya di class e go godimo le tsone di classroom tse di teng the existing ones le tsone tsantse re di bankangwe di mo seemong se mo lampelo
mere kopa gore a ko governmente a bone gore ditowa di ring ngwaga le ngwaga yewe ditori ta bona gore di dira ya mme ga gona nko e tswana le mina go ntse go tshwana hela.
Senete residents were advised to take advantage of government initiatives such as the Temolotlotlo and Ipelagim program as they are meant to improve their livelihoods. Abigail Madorobo, BTV News, Senete.
You're watching BTV News. Thank you for staying with us. Now, moving on, Chwabe residents have called for improvements in street lighting infrastructure to mitigate the human-wildlife conflict. They say with the 2022 population census indicates a 7.2% increase in the population of Kazungula, forcing homesteads to be expanded to areas traditionally inhabited by wildlife. Therefore, they plead with the authorities for the installation of floodlights and elimination of the thicket of bushes for their safety and security. Kitso Teman compiled this one.
Kazungula residents emphasize that some bushy areas are wild animal grazing spot and hideout. On the other hand, thieves are using such for their criminal activities. They therefore plead for installation of floodlights and elimination of those bushes for their safety and security.
Re mo seemo sa gore re tlhokana le di-lights di-floodlights ela kana dipone tse di ta gasa hela mo Flower Town mo ene ya rena ko ngwe ke tswa go ngwe ko kere ke ya rona re tsena boshigo ene re la ke tsena mo straight sa four sa Martha ke kopane le phiri tse tharo maabane yo mongwe ba le tsebang teleditse mongame jaaka o itse gore ke motho yo ke gautshwane le dinoga tshutha ela ne ke e bonye mo motse ele ha ke o tshwarano ga ele ene e thomola pelo
so re na le kganyere le yone ya borukhuti le bokgosi ba moteng re na le borre ba sepodisi e leng gore re a eleka mme sena nkere ke a se kopa ya ba gampe go ke sengwe se se tshwanang le fire break mo ngwabe maphata a le bane.
In addition to that, some residents share their challenges, with some acknowledging developments done and looking forward for more civilizations.
Ga gola scales already. Guide you tshwantse a mogele bokae, chef a mogele bokae. Would last to look at is a professional guide. But this has been a problem for so many years.
Ya re gona le mediro re se ke re bone di-clients mina ga simolola ga nna le local agents and distribution of clients mo e reng ga batho ba tabe ba hiwa di-local agents be ba bona bone gore ba ba neela bomaka ke so se e leng gore sa diragala bagaetso ba re se lebogeleng.
Responding to resident plea and concerns, Mr. Machana Shamukuni indicated that the residents' concerns are his, and thus he will work tirelessly with other departments to enforce other developments at lightning speed.
Tota mo planning ya rona ya 23-24 na so mo planning ya gore re ka go tshuba go Flower Town mme ke plan ele ke mo gopolo ro tsereng re tla ro tsenya mo di planning
dikgang tsa bone ga se gore government o ntse hela ka tsone ebile le ene tona wa tourism ke dikgang tsa di itseng particularly yone ya gore ga ngwe yo a degree holder ene minimum mo me o le degree holder spatela sa ka sana le sone khosi se tabo se agiwa.
Residents are asked to constantly send conscious alert to others through social media pertaining the wild animals seen roaming the homesteads. Kitso Temane, BOTSWANA Television, Kazungula.
Now, yesterday, the prosecution team in a case in which Homolemo Motlanyane, who is facing a single count of murder of his wife, Kibabope Motlanyana, at the counseling center on the 24th of May 2023, pleaded with Broadhurst Magistrate Horatile Moremi Ramakoloi to continue keeping Motlanyana in prison to allow the deceased children to receive counseling. The prosecution said this when Motlanyana was appearing for mention. Ungutule Tamake reports.
In June last year, Magistrate Horatile Moremi Ramakoloi denied Homolemo Motlanyana's second application for bail in his ongoing murder case, as the deceased two children are still undergoing counseling sessions. The prosecution told the court that at the moment, Homolemo is far from being a candidate for bail, as he poses a threat to the lives of his children and also a threat to state witnesses. They told the court that children of the deceased are still attending a series of counseling as they witnessed their mother being brutally stabbed and killed by their father, and they cannot forget what happened anytime soon. The prosecution says the police have not yet recorded statement from one of the children. The murder accused person, Homolemo Motlanyana, on the other hand, told the magistrate that he has been held in prison for a very long time and he is feeling the pinch. He requested the magistrate to consider giving him short dates to appear in court. Motlanyana also pleaded with the court to give him bail as he wished to meet up with his children to offer them counseling. Magistrate Ramakoloi ordered that Homolemo Motlanyana be further remanded in prison and will appear again before court on the 12th of February 2024. Ungutle Thamage, BTV News, Gaborone.
Well, that is the news. Tato Khosimore on standby to take you through the world of sport.
Thank you, Olibile Samka. Good afternoon. I am Tato Khosumore with In Context Sports Update. Ross Branch wrote his name into the history books as he became the best performing first African in the bikes category at the Dakar Rally, finishing in second position. Branch pulled off the amazing feat despite completing stage 12 in 8th place in 1 hour 52 minutes. The result was enough to secure second place in the bike's general classifications, 10 and 53 seconds behind overall winner Ricky Brabeck of Monster Energy Honda, while Francis and Andren van Beveren secured the last podium spot. Ross Branch's superb showing at this year's rally featured 2 stages which is mentored the Hero Motorsport bike as one of the elite riders in the world. The car section was won by Carlos Sainz and Lucas Cruz of Team Audi Sport. Coming back home, Botswana National Sports Commission CEO Tolo Sirufo confirmed the preparations for the 2024 All-Africa Games built for Accra, Ghana in March, and 2024 Paris Olympics Games are ongoing, and as BNSC, they are working around the clock to amend the fuel regulation in the BNSC constitution so that they improve their delivery in preparing the athletes for international competitions so that they can also do their best at the world stage.
Sirufo says one of the bills is focused on BNSC and BNOC operations in preparing athletes and teams for major international competitions by maximizing the available resources and avoiding duplication of roles.
Hona le melawana e re sologetseng gore e tabe hitisiwa ko parlamenteng molao wa ntlha ke o hetolang act ya BNSC ya 2014 re na le tshepo ya gore jaanong go tana le act ya BNSC ya 2024 e leng gore e tabe change ka ha metshameko e tsamaisiwang ka teng re kgonne go harologanya se se dirwang ke BNSC e be tse dingwe di a go dirwa ke BNOC. Of course gona le molao wa anti-doping le one re sologetseng gore o ta heta gone mo ngwageng mo di-competitioneng di dintsi re bereka le Botswana National Olympic Committee.
Parliament is expected to debate on a bill to establish a standalone anti-doping agency office to address the ever-increasing number of doping cases, which has the potential to tarnish the country's sporting image.
The scourge sone sa doping ke se re tshwenyang hela thata mme gongwe ke sone se leng ha ke simolla ka highlighta kganya bile ya NADO kana molao o re o sologetseng wa NADO ka gore ha o hitile go ta establishwa office e ikemetseng ka nosi e leng gore ano e tabe rutuntsha ebile be e testa mo go ka thusang gore gongwe education e spread go heta ka ntseng ka teng le rona re kgona go itestela mo gae le ha unfortunately la re testa mo gae ga se mo go teng re ka bipa maduo a teng a ntse a go tswa ba itswe ke le hatshe ka bophara.
The BNSC 2024 Act is expected to align them to modern sports development challenges as they look to guide the affiliates to produce well-rounded athletes who will be able to compete favorably around the globe as well as make a decent living through sports. Katlego Khakwele, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And there is our last story this afternoon. In the ongoing AFCON tournament, Nigeria thrashed the host Cote d'Ivoire 1-0 to secure second spot in Group A. Still in Group A, Equatorial Guinea played an electrifying game, slashing Guinea-Bissau 4-2. Equatorial Guinea are now top of Group A with 4 points. Egypt played to a 2-2 draw against Ghana in their Group B encounter. Group B fixtures continue this afternoon with a battle for top spot between Cape Verde and Mozambique, while Senegal face off with Cameroon. Guinea will take on the Gambia in their Group C encounter. That's all we had for you from In Context Sports Update. Thank you for your audience and good afternoon.
So your long-term financial goals, mostly we want now to say my family home should be in place. I should have had, or I should be in a position where I've worked on my first degree or on my education to the satisfaction that I want. Or, you know, I have started my business is where it is, and kwa ki simolotsa morakame ki simolotsa ka dikgomo tse, mme ke batla gore morakame yaanong ga ile gore ne ke na le dikgomo tse 10 because ke batla go rekisetsa BMC kana dipudi kana eng e be le gore yaanong ke godisitse ke gorogile ha. So you do also what we call goal-based financial planning. And the goal-based financial planning part, it cuts across. But now when it comes to long-term, it has to be, you know, you have to introspect. You have to look at the holistic picture of where you are in your life and say, will I be in a position that I'm happy and I have attained my dreams or where I would have wanted to be? So attaining these financial goals, sometimes based on your current financial position, you might need the help of a financial, service provider to help you attain these goals. You can do this through credit or through a personal loan. A personal loan can help you to meet some of your short-term financial goals. Remember that loans can be either good or bad. There is good debt and there is bad debt. If you take a personal loan and you're going to use it towards education, you're going to use it to you are going to use it that's another form of using a personal loan for in a form of a good debt. You can also attain your medium-term financial goals, whether it be buying your car through a loan. But the car that you buy, it should be a car that you are in a position to pay it without any challenges. Remember that if you can buy something, does not mean you can afford it. So you have to buy a car that you are in a position to afford it. And some of this comes with who create your emergency funding. You can save those things. And also, we have other solutions within the bank, your mortgage loans and all that, to build your home to maybe cater for your long-term financial goals. All these are solutions that are there. Some use a credit card, but the credit card, when you use a credit card isn't for retail therapy. Use a credit card to pay for things that matter in your life, things that will add value into your life. Some use the credit card to finance their education, their online learning. They use credit card to purchase things that are to do with their businesses. To set our financial goals. Remember, short term, medium term, long term, make them realistic and specific and simple, and track them mostly. Keep on going back to them after a month or after 3 months to see if you are in line. Let's say ke go eleletsa malatsi a molemo a di-holiday, le ithokomeleng, le spendeng madi a lona sente, le dirisang madi sente, e be le gore ngwaga o tang re plana matshelo a rona sente, re le financially responsible. Thank you.
The L'Oreal Foundation is awarding and celebrating women in science for the last 25 years. The reason for it, women scientists were made invisible for as long as science exists. Their discoveries and contributions were hindered, silenced, even stolen. And to change this, it's not just about an issue of equality or more equal societies. It is about better science for all.
I do research that is mostly focused on food safety measures. The aim is to develop adsorbents or materials that can be able to remove toxins from food, preferably maize and sorghum right now, because these are the staple food sources in our country and also in Africa, but they are very much susceptible to fungal infestation and mycotoxin contamination. So my study focuses on finding sustainable measures to remove these toxins. This award recognizes and awards young talents in Africa for their scientific work, and it is an award that is going to help me take my research forward because it is funding which is going to support my research. This is the money that I'm going to be using to buy reagents, be able to access some instruments from outside, be able to pay for them and advance my research, because right now we have a problem with funding. I am currently self-sponsored, and so you can imagine how difficult it is to support my tuition fees and also to buy some stuff needed for my project. And with this money then I can be able to fill up the gaps. I'm going to be able to fill up the gaps and be able to complete my studies. Being a girl, you are faced with a lot of challenges, a lot of